Welcome to the MLS Review Show. A third of the way into the season, and teams were starting to reassess. Coaches continued to preach patience, but front offices required results. While some teams rode hot streaks into summer, others fell victim to spring cleaning. This is the MLS Review Show. The last week in May also proved to be the last week at the helm for two MLS coaches. Vancouver was the first to drop the axe as Tater Torgerson was relieved of his duties after posting a 1-5-7 record for the expansion side. The move was a surprise to many, as Whitecaps Director of Soccer Operations and former DC United head coach Tom Sohn took the reins to lead Vancouver for the rest of the season. A less shocking move was made in Chicago as Carlos de los Cobos was replaced after failing to improve on a disappointing 2010. Technical Director Frank Klopas took over on an interim basis as they began a full-fledged coaching search. A mild midweek MLS featured just one game as Vancouver traveled down the coast to visit Chivas USA. Newly appointed head coach Tom Sohn made some key changes in the Whitecaps lineup, highlighted by Joe Cannon taking Jay Nolly's place between the pipes. With Chivas missing Alejandro Moreno, it meant rookie Chris Cortez was handed his first MLS start. However, it would be informed midfielder Nick LaBroca who found the back of the net for the Goats, while Camilo quickly equalized for the Whitecaps, as this one ended in a 1-1 draw. The night ended on a sour note for Vancouver as forward Eric Hasley saw red for the third time this season. On Friday night, our match of the week saw DC United travel to the Home Depot Center to take on the winners of 5 straight, the LA Galaxy. Coming off a win in Portland, Ben Olsen's side looked to carry the momentum and pick up 3 more points along the West Coast. The Red and Black would rely on young blood center backs as Perry Kitchens slid to the middle with Ethan White. Fellow rookie Blake Bretschneider was impressive in the victory over Portland, and Olsen rewarded him with another start. The return of Charlie Davies gave DC another genuine scoring threat coming off the bench to try and break down LA's durable back line. A streaking Galaxy side wanted to avenge a controversial penalty kick that awarded DC half of the points during their first meeting at RFK earlier this season. However, they would have to do it without captain Landon Donovan and first-choice goalkeeper Donovan Ricketts, who both took off for the Gold Cup. Head coach Bruce Arena slotted Chris Birchall in the midfield and called on veteran Josh Saunders to man the nets. Could the Galaxy keep their winning streak going in front of their home fans? JP Delacamera and Kyle Martino hosted the action on Fox Soccer Night in America from the Home Depot Center.
To the original teams in Major League Soccer, Josh Wolf over the ball, back in the starting lineup. And Bretschneider up top, and DC United in the dark uniforms.
And they have a mismatch in the midfield. They'll play with those two back there, and what DC United is doing is they're so compact that they don't have a mismatch now. They can't get numbers up midfield.
Birchall in near post, surprising everyone.
Takes a look up, hits in at knuckles towards the near post.
Fred, one on the right side. Nahar, right across, wide off a deflection.
Look at how much space Nahar has to collect it. His first touch, it bounces up, but look at this ball through. Rifled.
Josh Wolf has a player wide open. Leads it for Fred, and that pass slightly off the mark, but Fred will catch up to it. Cuts once in the box. Takes the shot, and it's high and wide of Saunders. Here's the throw. Couple players missed it. Settle there. Side netting.
As you see, 1, 2, 3 players missing it. Takes a good first touch.
Thinking about the shot, takes it closer, the pass is intercepted. And DC United could counter. Wolf and Davies are forward. Davies, great run into the middle. Johnny Davies picks it up, headers up. He has it, and he shot it wide.
What a run this is. Switches his run, cuts in on the side of Gonzalez, takes a look up, fakes the shot, has the goalkeeper beat. Just can't get his foot around it to get it back on the goal.
DC fought to keep it alive, upfield in the box. Now outside for Wolf. Back inside, quick shot, big save, Saunders. White puts it up. That was the last kick of the ball. And DC United and the LA Galaxy play to a scoreless draw.
I gave the players 3 days off this week, and it showed. They never got going during the week. I think tonight's performance was absolutely poor.
It's funny, after games, people remind me that I have 3 teenagers or, 4 20-year-olds on the field, and I don't view them as first-year players.
We got the shutout, and that was our goal. It wasn't the prettiest at times, but like I said, we had the right mentality, and we came out and we got the result that we needed.
It just gives us some confidence, 5 or 6 games unbeaten. So against some tough opponents, we're getting results in some tough stadiums, so it just gives us more confidence.
Coming up on the MLS Review Show, Sporting KC travel up to Toronto for the final match of their 10-game road trip.
Hey, it's Charlie Davies with DC United, and you're listening to Extra Time Radio.
The Extra Time Radio podcast comes out every Monday and Thursday on iTunes and Buzzsprout. You can also listen to each episode at MLSsoccer.com/extratime.
We're a soccer podcast.
And I have no friends.
I like to tie my shoes.
Well, we'll get back to some women's evening wear talk.
You guys are too old. It's only for 8-year-old boys.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, this is your tweet of the week.
Janino's not going to win a game for you.
They're a sign of the apocalypse.
That's why he's here.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email extratime at MLSsoccer.com or tweet at Extra Time Radio with any comments, questions, or reactions.
Welcome back to the MLS Review Show. New York hope to return to their winning ways as they host the Crew at Red Bull Arena. But first, Toronto FC aim to take advantage of the touring Sporting Kansas City. Saturday's slate started at BMO Field, where Sporting KC was looking to find an elusive second win of the season against a Toronto side trying to rebound from their worst performance in MLS. Aaron Vinter's side was dealt some bad news midweek as defensive stalwart Adrian Kahn was ruled out for the rest of the season after suffering a torn ACL during practice. With Kahn out and Decoy Williams away with the Jamaican national team, the Reds called on young defender Nana Atakora to man the central defense and help Toronto to their first win since March 26th. With the opening of Livestrong Sporting Park just 5 days away, Sporting KC targeted 3 points from struggling Toronto. Gold Cup outcast Teal Bunbury intended to prove the critics wrong and sign his name on the scorer's sheet for the first time since April 2nd. Head coach Peter Vermees turned to inform Graham Susi in Sporting's midfield triangle as KC tried to tinker with the attack and travel home with their heads held high. Caleb Williams and Christian Jack were on hand at BMO Field.
Here we go again, Sporting on the road for the final time in this horrible, repulsive 10-game road stretch. Can they end it on a high? Aurelian Collin. Smith plays the ball in. Rocasa with the effort. Johnny goes over to the left-hand side. Plata. The Ecuadorian twists and turns. Finds at half a yard. Goes wide on the right-hand post. Kronberg had it covered. Finds Bunbury on the edge of the penalty area. Twists and turns. This is Teal Bunbury with the effort. Zusi plays the ball in nearly over the head of the goalkeeper. And that'll be a corner for another US Bank substitution. Ball played in. Smith with the header. Ball played forward. And the header is superly saved. It is Santos. Marcon Santos with the effort. Wide on the left-hand post. And there we have the final whistle.
Although New York would be without 5 starters as they hosted the Columbus Crew, one key figure did return to action. Thierry Henry missed out on last weekend's draw in Vancouver with a knee injury. He looked to get back to business, though, and lead the makeshift Red Bull squad to their first win in 5 games. Head coach Hans Backe had a busy week, not only filling out the team sheet with so many absences, but also being named to coach the MLS All-Star team that will take on Manchester United. His immediate attention was on Columbus, though, and with only 4 players on the bench, he entrusted veterans Carlos Mendez and Stephen Keel to run the defense, and Austin DeLuz got his first MLS start. Winless in the month of May, Columbus came into Red Bull Arena with high hopes of knocking off the vulnerable stars of the Eastern Conference. With Robbie Rogers getting a Gold Cup call, it was Dilly Duca who hoped to spark a Crew offense that hit the back of the net 3 times last week, but could only settle for a tie. Head coach Robert Warzija was still without team scoring leader Emilio Renteria, so he needed DP Andres Mendoza to step up for the key Eastern Conference clash. Steve Cangelosi and Shep Messing called the match from Red Bull Arena.
Nico Bratsis is the referee in charge. This is his 3rd MLS game, and we're underway here tonight. Return pass off the mark, and Henry. Quickly, Joel and Bear. Manny Bellucci facing goal. His shot parried away, and the first big stop of the night by Hesmer.
Will Hesmer. You talk about an underrated goalkeeper in Major League Soccer.
Good crowd, better than 20,000 in the house tonight here at Red Bull Arena. Luke Rogers, flag stays down. Fine job by the Englishman. He gets it across. Bellucci! 1-0 New York!
Watch this pass. Looks up, cuts the ball behind the defense. You can't execute any better than that. Find Chad Marshall if possible.
Go with the man with the strong left foot, Gardner. Whisks it in. Keel got there. Bicycle kick that just goes wide. That was Julius James who got up.
Uncharacteristic foray into the penalty area by Julius James, and good athleticism.
Tanio free kick in the direction of Henry. Locked up with Marshall. Henry wanted a foul on Chad Marshall. Wasn't going to get it. Keel can't control that. Opportunity for Heineman. But off his line is Greg Sutton. Big play in the match. Good ball by Miranda. Gavin plays this. Mendoza mishit that. Not even close.
I mean, you can't have a better setup than this. That's just pathetic. A really an interesting tactical matchup now.
Gardner plays this across, headed strong. Mendoza. The flag stayed down. It went wide.
I have nothing personal against Mendoza, but a DP, you have to be kidding me. When are you going to get a better look at a ball like that on a wide open goal? He's totally unmarked.
Keel goes up for this. On the attack, Justin Miram gets a loose ball. He's got it for the Crew. Miram still going, plays it across, and there is the equalizing goal. In stoppage time, the Crew have tied the game.
I think I'm going to be sick. You got to be kidding me. How in the world does this happen? And as much as I applauded Matt Castle, if you're a right back, what in the world are you doing up forward? Overlapping runs, stay back, he gets beat.
Lindbergh. The touch there betrays him, and the Crew haven't. That will do it, and this will be a bitter 1-1 draw for New York.
Coming up on the MLS Review Show, Shal Reed Joseph and the Revolution hope to stop a streaking FC Dallas team as they voyage down to Pizza Hut Park. Every week, MLSsoccer.com provides you the opportunity to select the Goal of the Week winner. You can choose between the 5 nominees directly on MLSsoccer.com on the AT&T Goal of the Week page. You can also send in your vote by texting the corresponding goal to code 22442. Winners are announced every Friday, so make sure you vote early and often, keeping in mind polls close at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursdays. Winners so far include Juan Agudelo of the New York Red Bulls, Javier Martina from Toronto FC, and O'Brien White of the Seattle Sounders.